If you want a small or really small smartphone based on Android 12, you mainly face two problems today. They are very rare, and even when you find them, they are usually poorly made and barely functional. Fortunately, we came across an interesting exception. This is the Unihertz Jelly 2E, the smallest full-blooded smartphone in 2022, today in our review. So let's take a look. So let's see what's inside this little white box. Right under the cover we find this cardboard envelope. When we open it, we see the SIM pin. There is also find a really tiny screen protector, although I know that the phone comes with the already installed protection on the screen. Below we also find the user guide. There is also our tiny smartphone, which we will put it on the side. Let's see what else we have in the box. So there is USB Type-C cable and a convenient hand strap for easy carrying our mini smartphone. However, we didn't find a charger in our package, although it's not really a big problem. We have extra of them in our drawers anyway. So let's move on our Jelly 2E. Here, as we can see, Jelly 2E comes with this transparent protective mask, which is very commendable. It is smooth to the touch in the hand, silver grey plastic, pleasant to the touch, gives a feeling of solidity and robustness, and the phone that fits very securely in the hand. It's not too slippery, the body is quite rounded. This is the smallest high-quality smartphone on the market, and you will certainly not find anything similar. Weighing in 110 grams is just perfectly weighted to make you forget you have it in your pocket. The front of the phone has a 854 by 480 resolution on 3-inch sized LCD display, which is quite bright and has an accurate touch response. Up above we find the 80 megapixel selfie camera with the face unlock function. It has 3 touch buttons below the screen. On the side there is a power button. Below we have a red programmable quick action button. It comes set to the trigger, the flashlight, but you can change it to launch the camera, music app or pedometer for instance. There are also dual SIMs with a hybrid SIM slot to keep calls and messages for 2 numbers separate for ease. Or you can use a single SIM and equip with a memory card to expand your storage to 512 GB. On this side there is also a USB-C port for charging. On the opposite side we have only 2 volume buttons. A standard headphone jack is on the top. There is also an infrared port that enables you to send wireless connection data for remote control. At the bottom we have a speaker grill and a microphone. And from the back there is a fingerprint sensor and a 60 megapixel camera with LED flash. The fingerprint sensor is average, although it reacts really quickly. The touch keyboard is extremely small. When you look at it, it seems impossibly small, but it isn't so bad. I found that the typing on it was generally pretty accurate, but I hope that you don't want to type long manifestos here. Keep it down to a few words and you should be alright. The Jelly 2E runs on the latest Android 12 OS and works on the MediaTek Helio A22 chipset with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. One of the things about tiny phones is that they don't need a lot of power to work well because they aren't driving super high-res screens. I loaded many different apps on this phone and I was really happy to see that they were all compatible. You don't want to play games on the Jelly 2E, I mean you can, surely they play fine, but anything that assumes too much targets is going to be very difficult to operate. Driving games with the tilt controls probably work the best. Unihertz puts a low-key skin on over the Android that's designed to make using a tiny phone easier. There is no app drawer by default. The company adds a few apps including an emergency SOS app, a student mode app, and a toolbox with the useful utilities such as a heart rate monitor, a pedometer, a decibelometer, and a compass. The phone also comes with the infrared remote app, and it is, as I mentioned earlier, this infrared port enables you to send wireless connection data from remote control. Give it a try to control your TV, conditioner and other electronics just with the one phone in the hand. It's a really useful thing. Although its 2000 mAh battery seems small by today's standards, don't worry, with the economical processor and a small screen, the battery will last you up to 2 days with the average use. If you are economical, 3 days is not a problem, at least it isn't for me. Call quality is surprisingly good given that phone is so tiny. The Jelly 2E supports voice over LTE VoLTE, and it supports Wi-Fi calling as well. Call quality through the earpiece was loud and clear in testing. The 60 megapixel main camera and the 8 megapixel front-facing camera aren't great, but they are adequate for most basic photography needs. The main camera captures 1080 pixels video with no image stabilization or 720 pixels video with electronic image stabilization. What kind of photos and video we managed to take with our Jelly 2E and how they look, you can see it now. And as you can see from these samples, the Jelly 2's photos are just fine for capturing memories and posting to social media, so even the video recording is pretty satisfactory for such a small phone. Of course, this is not for demanding camera users, but for most of you will be just fine. In the end, we come to the conclusion that the Unihertz Jelly 2E it is a tiny phone for putting in your pocket while enjoying our big world. It can also work as a secondary handset to take out when you don't want to get your big screen or your low-cost primary phone that keeps you connected but not distracted. It is a phone for people who want to travel outside and enjoy nature and the world at large. Unihertz has built several tiny phones before this, so they know what they are doing and definitely have their loyal customers. There is not much in the way of competition at the moment. If you want something compact but more mainstream, the next step up is Apple's iPhone SE, which both is larger and more expensive. Therefore, it comes down to the fact that the Jelly 2E is the only reasonable choice. This is an Android 12 phone with a 3-inch display priced at only $169, and you can get it today for $20 off. The official Unihertz sales link is below this video. Visit it and grab your new Jelly 2E at a better price today. That will be all for now. See you soon with a new video. Bye.